So there is going to be a level of you needing to make a decision when this past does show up.
The divine's time is fine, 'cause it has to be. It won't be late because it's mine. So tonight I'll be fine.
Hey, what is up, Cancer? Mika here, the Traveling Tarot, back with some messages from Spirit for my beautiful Cancer in regards to what you may need to know over this Mercury Retrograde in regards to love. Now, these messages are for my single Cancers or people that may be in separation, so that you can get a little clarity on what might show up for you over the next 30 days or so. We're getting ready to go into the retrograde in another day or two, and then it will go on for about 30 days, okay? So this is going to help you understand what might be showing up, or how you may need to, maybe the reason why, or how you might want to respond, okay? So I'm going to start with just a Cupid's Arrow Oracle card to get an overarching energy, and then we're going to see what else they want my beautiful brothers and sisters in Cancer who are single or in separation to know about this retrograde period. What do you want my beautiful Cancer to know about this next 30 days, this retrograde period? These are for Cancer placements, Cancer watchers, as well as being general messages. So just take them as they resonate. However, as soon as something does resonate, you're going to want to look deeper as to why. And I love this so much because we have putting in the work and dedication showing up, okay? And so it says action that helps achieve goals, building the path to success. And it's saying staying dedicated to your goals and the efforts that you put in reaping success. They both are saying basically the same thing. So this may not, because a lot of the times it's not about you starting something new during the retrograde, but it's about you staying dedicated to your vision and still putting in the work no matter what shows up. And this falls right in line with the messages I was just getting as the overview for the retrograde. They want you to be aware that the past might show up, but you've been putting in the work now, so trust the feelings that you're receiving and see whether or not this is something that you want to continue to allow into your life. So this period is going to be about you staying dedicated to your vision, okay? No matter what shows up. Because a lot of the times, even if you're single or you're in a separation period, you can feel a little bit lonely. And so when the past shows up, you might think that this is the answer to what you've been asking for. But you'll know by how it feels if that's the truth. And you've been putting in so much work on yourself and, releasing and doing shadow work and things like that, that because you've been putting in the work, you have been attracting that partner in, okay? So do not allow what shows up during this retrograde to make you doubt. Maybe things haven't been moving as fast as you like, but don't let this past showing up make you doubt the work that you've been putting in, okay? Because it definitely says continue to take those actions towards your purpose and towards your vision, because you have been building the path to success. So when those things do show up during this retrograde, do not let it make you doubt what you've been creating. It's saying stay dedicated and tap into what fuels you and what's been fueling you, okay? Like I said, even if you fall back into a certain pattern, habit, or person, just know that you've been putting in the work. So you'll be able to tell if this situation has changed or not when it shows back up. And they're saying it's definitely going to be somebody from the past, okay? Maybe you guys, maybe it's an ex, or maybe it's a friend that you may have lost touch with or something like that. But they're saying feel into this, okay? And since you have been putting in the work, use that information. So if it doesn't feel right, go with that. If it does feel right, just look a little bit deeper into it. And I'm going to pull one more of these oracle cards, see if we can get a little more information on this person that is going to be showing up. Because what I found is that we're in a period of integration right now, so this might not show up until towards the end of the retrograde or fresh out of the retrograde, because there's this period of reflection right now where we're integrating the work that we've been putting in, and now so that we can embody that this coming month and start moving and attracting from that place. Remember what I said in my previous love readings, even though you may spiritually feel ready to go, you might still be exuding trauma of something that happened. So now we're in that period of, even if that thing that caused you the trauma shows back up, you to set that boundary within yourself and follow through on that boundary. So that you can be like, okay, yeah, no, I have this dedication to my vision. I meant no because I don't like how this makes me feel. I meant it. So it's going to be no. Period. And so once you make that decision, that decisiveness helps you see what's kind of been trying to show itself to you this entire time, my beautiful Cancer. So trust in what you're receiving over the next 30 days. Do this non-judgmental reflection, and most importantly, do some evaluation to see if what you've been doing in terms of meeting people, has been working or giving back to you in any way. And if not, be open to another way of doing it, because one of the big things that showed up over the general overview for retrograde was lots of pages. So we're coming to that close of the cycle where, yes, this is almost like our ego's last ditch attempt to try to hang on to us. And so we're going to show ourselves, no, we've been putting in the work, we've been doing the actions, we've actively been seeing results, which means we have shifted our energy about it. We are dedicated to our vision. And so once those things show up and we finally give them the last little freaking energy phaser so they can get the hell out of our life, that's when you've integrated that boundary, and that's when you thrust forward for everything that's been waiting for you this entire time, but you have been working to get in alignment with, okay? Okay, I love this so much because the other card that does show up says it's not easy to get out of, but you don't want to either. You dive into each other's souls. Remember what I said about the past showing up, but it is going to show up to let you know where you are with it now, okay? And if you've been putting in the work, even though you might love this person or you might feel this attraction or connection with them, if the relationship is not at the same frequency of what you've been wanting, you're going to feel the discord, and that's going to be your cue to say, hey, you maybe haven't been putting in the work. You maybe haven't been putting in the work yet either, or maybe you have. It's literally just showing up so that you can be honest about where you're at with it, okay? And this really feels more like a separation. A twin flame dynamic, possibly. We did have soulmates showing up in one of the recent readings that I did. So it could just be a really important, significant connection. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could just be a deep friendship. But if it's not giving back to you, Cancer, because this period of retrograde is all about non-judgmental reflection and releasing reciprocity, releasing what's not giving to us and embracing what is, okay? So when this past does show up, since you have been putting in the work, if it still feels draining, then it's not ready for you yet. So you can choose to do whatever you want, but that's the thing that's not going to be able to come into your new reality. Because with the way frequency works is one is going to be more dominant. So if you allow it back in, it will eventually feed on you, and you'll end up, after all the work and dedication you've put into who you are now, feeling depleted again and feeling doubtful and insecure and things like that. Step fully into who you're becoming, and that's what this retrograde is going to bring, okay? The real people who are going to come once you integrate these new boundaries. And when I say integrate with dedication, decide that this is the answer. Well, maybe I'm a little bit alone, so maybe he's not that bad. He is kind of insulting sometimes, or he is condescending sometimes. No. The answer is no, I don't put up with that, so I don't do that. If somebody came up and said, do you smoke, and you don't smoke, the answer is no, I don't want a cigarette because I don't smoke. So once you get to that level of dedication about who you've become, and the answer is an absolute no to this type of person or to this type of behavior, you've solidified that boundary. Now you've integrated it into who you really are. So it's no from now on. No. And once it's no from now on, all of the yeses can actually reveal themselves to you because there's no confusion there. So there is going to be a level of you needing to make a decision when this past does show up. If you find yourself falling back into it, once you get back into that place of awareness, fall right back into line of it's no. It's a no. It's going to be a no for me. Okay? And we have he or she, because these are female cards, but he or she breaks free. They run away from the darkness and into the light to you. Maybe it'll be too late then. That they're really, really saying here that right now it is super important for you to set these boundaries from a place of clarity. Okay, because the past is getting ready to show up, and that's why it says he's running away from darkness and to the light. So this person could, it's a fly, my bad. This person could be showing up, and that's so crazy that the fly would show up right now because I don't ever have flies in my house. And I just did a reading earlier, and the fly showed up for the finance reading about being a pest. And so I literally, as I was reading this card, that fly flew back in to let you know that when this person shows back up, it's because he is running away from his darkness and he's being drawn to your light. It is not so much that this is a reunion. It is for you to set that boundary and say no more giving without getting back what I need. I cannot keep pouring everything into something that is receiving the hell out of me, but is not giving me one thing back. Okay, so that's so crazy, and they're really, really wanting me to highlight. That's why that fly flew back in, is to let you know, as I was reading this card, it's gonna fly in as an annoyance, and it's because he's running away from whatever is going on his side that he doesn't really want to deal with, and he finds comfort. He or she finds comfort in your light, and so it's almost like a vampire, to be honest, where they're there to suck from you because you make them feel the light. But the problem with that is that it drains you, and that's unacceptable now. No more of that. We have to have this balance and this reciprocity in this relationship, and you'll be able to feel it if you've been putting in the work. And based on what they're saying here, if you decide to stay dedicated, because you have been putting in the work and you decide to stay dedicated, you've now made the decision that this energy is no longer acceptable in my life, and so it will fade away. And it will show up in the things that are acceptable in your life now, the things you're embracing now, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull an area of focus out of the tarot here and see if we can get a little more information on this person from the past that's actually going to be showing up during this retrograde. And again, it is only for you to see where you really are with this thing so that you can deal with it from a place of honesty and integrate your new boundaries into this connection. Okay? And this is going to be for separation. This is going to be for singles. And again, maybe it's a person in a relationship and it doesn't even have to do with a romantic partnership. It could just be a friendship or something that shows up. If it still feels like it's draining, even for a moment, that's your cue to not let this not let it come in and undo all the work that you've been doing. Okay, and it's going to continue to get uncomfortable, so you'll know even if you don't get it right out of the gate. I stopped and we had justice showing up just to let you know that it is meant for you to have that reciprocity, Cancer. It's time for you to receive what your effort, the reward for the effort you've been putting into even just changing who you are and how you respond. So let's see how they want you to focus over this retrograde period, or what would be the greatest place to focus so that you can integrate these boundaries. I love that. I think it's the lovers. Yeah, no, it's so perfect. Because remember what I said about you integrating. That's exactly what this represents. What place, when this shows up, is it in line with who you are now, your values? It also represents that choice that you're going to need to make when this shows up. It's going to be that crossroads of, am I doing this from a place of just wanting anybody here right now? Or because it's always been this person that I'm allowing this to happen? If it's not fulfilling you or not in line with who you are now, then they're saying you want to make the decision to move towards and integrate towards the boundaries that you've been setting all of this time. It's a 6 card, so they want you to move towards that harmony, and that also represents that justice energy that we just showed up, which is about balance. Okay? It is about reciprocity. It is about giving back in the ways that you have been getting back in the ways that you have been giving. Okay? And they want you to know that even though this person shows up, because this Lover's card also, for me, represents definitely keeping your eyes on the prize. It represents no matter what shows up, because you might have some temptation going on here, especially with passion showing up. I believe there's some Mars energy going on during this period as well, and it comes out of this confusion which dark clouds represent. All of this stuff might be coming, including in the face of challenges, temptation. Keep your eyes on your prize. Stay dedicated to your vision and don't let this person showing up, friend or ex-lover, whatever, change who you've become now. Okay, it's going to be an ask for you to make the decision to stay dedicated to your vision. Keep your eyes on the prize and you're going to see the progress, especially towards the end of this retrograde period, okay? And we have the Queen of Cups showing up, and she showed up in the money reading. This is that time that I say that as you're doing that integration, you're tapping into self-love and self-care. So it should be very easy for you to say no. I love myself too much to put up with this. Why am I going to do this? Why am I going to keep doing this? It makes me feel like this about myself. No, thank you. I mean, you have to get brutally honest here, but it's going to be that time for you to be nurturing. When I say nurturing, Cancer, it is you making a decision about what you want and what you need. It's going to be based on that. So if somebody is trying to get you to do something and you don't want to do it, I love you. I really do. But you know what? I can't. I have to go do this for me. I have to give to me first. And if I have time, I'll get to it. And you're not even doing it from a place of being a dick. Is that it's the time for us to take care of ourselves. And again, integrate all of that queen energy of the clarity we now have of the Queen of Swords, the passion and the confidence that we have of the Queen of Wands, and the groundedness and ease that we have of the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, it's time for us to embody that Queen of Cups deeply and emotionally and integrate all of those queens into who we now are. Okay, from a loving and authentic place. All we have to do is make that decision based on what matters to us. Okay, and that's really what they're asking us to do. What kind of challenges might show up for my beautiful Cancer? Well, during this retrograde period, in terms of relationships or partnerships or connection, this Cancer needs to know as a challenge. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, look, couple of things, okay? First of all, it really depends on how this relationship ended, on whether or not you might still feel like this person is getting away with something, or they maybe deceived you or lied or cheated on you, whatever. Remember, they want you to tune in to why you're not with that person anymore. This person, when they show up, it says they break free. They're running away from their darkness and to you. You're basically like a crutch or a safety, a comfort zone. They're saying, this time it's going to be too late because you're working towards integrating the new boundaries that you've already set. But also, the Seven of Swords represents strategy, it represents stealth, but it also represents a peaceful resolution. Take what you've gotten from this situation and use it. Take the clarity and the new perspective that you've gotten since you've been putting in the work, and just peaceful resolution coming through for it, okay? Because you're just tuning into, or maybe even trying to find a peaceful resolution, but there might still be some resentment with this showing up in the challenge about why this ended. And so that's still an emotionally charged response. But if you stay dedicated to the work you've been putting in and who you are now, this person showing up is irrelevant. It should not change what you now are deciding you are, or how you now are going to relate to others in a connection or a relationship or in a love partnership, okay? This also represents with the Four of Pentacles, which is why this really feels most like it feels most like a peaceful resolution, or taking what you've gotten and leaving behind the things that happened, or going back to that old, town that you feel that you needed to sneak out of. So they're definitely saying, take what you've got, hold on to it, use it to lift you higher, but don't let it pull you back in. Remember, this person showing up is not about a reunion. It is about integration. And that's 100% the message they want you to know for this retrograde in terms of love. When this person shows up, friendship, partnership, somebody that matters to you, or that mattered to you, that you had to work towards moving on from, when they show up, use it as integration of your new boundaries. It is not a reunion, okay? Even with the lovers showing up, unless they're aligned with your new purpose, they can stay. Otherwise, the boundaries still have to be in play. And then you'll get to see where you actually are and start working towards getting more dedicated to your vision. But take what you learned from this integration, take from what you learned from this partnership showing back up, use it to take what you need from it and leave behind what it used to be. Okay? Let's go ahead and get one advice from Spirit, and then I'll get you guys a inner child card to see what your inner child will need during this retrograde, and then we will go ahead and send you on your beautiful way. What advice do you have for my lovely Cancer who might be experiencing this separation or have this unexpected reunion, how they best can move towards the peaceful resolution? And I feel like it's definitely staying aligned with your values, especially with the Lover's card showing up as keep your eyes on the prize. Stay dedicated with this dedication card to your passions and to who you've now become. It's feeling lonely, it sucks, but being in a situation that you know you no longer fit in sucks more, especially because it now involves other people. Oh, I love that so much. We have the 8 of Wands showing up. I love that so much. And the Wheel of Fortune. They're saying this 8 of Wands is showing up as the advice to let you know that it is time to focus on where you're headed, especially with the work you've been putting in. And they're also saying that once you make that decision or cut that tie when this past shows up, things are going to move forward very, very quickly, because remember what I've always said is that you're pulling back a slingshot or something, and it catapults forward once you align with it, because it's still moving. Okay, where you're headed is going to move very fast. They're also saying that there could be some type of travel coming up, or some type of travel or swift movement. You might be, once you make this decision, you're going to move towards that partnership that is coming through for you, okay? Because you have now freed up the space. Thank you. You have now freed up the space and freed up the energy by deciding, and decide means to cut off. To make a decision means there's no other option, there's no confusion, there's no back and forth. It's no, I don't smoke, so no, I don't want a cigarette. No, I don't drink, so I don't want to drink. No, I don't believe in scarcity consciousness, so I know that abundance is flowing freely, and I know that the universe is going to provide, and I know that I have the faith that you know what I'm saying? That's that decision. That even if this thought shows up, even if this person shows up, even if you still love this person, it doesn't feel right, you've made the decision that it has to feel a certain way. And if it doesn't, it's not for me. Okay? And so once you make that decision, things swiftly turn in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune showing up as well. Okay? It's just a matter of you deciding that I'm going to stay dedicated to my vision and all the work that I've put in, and I trust that no matter what shows up from the past, could be thoughts, but it really feels like it's going to be a person, because they're definitely saying that this person is right now running away from their shadow self, and they can feel the comfort and the light in you. And so if you've been putting in the work, they feel like you're attracting also those that need it. And so he or she running to you is so that they can feel that comfort. You are moving on from being that comfortable blanket that people run to, but you don't have the blanket to go to. And it's like, no, wait, there has to be reciprocity here. And if you're just running to me because I'm the light, I want to be that beacon of light, but I'm not here to save you. Okay, my light is here to help you find your light. And so if you're draining my light, I can't do it, bruh. No, ma'am. Okay, but they do want you to know that you want to focus on where you're heading with this Eight of Swords, and focus on ease and things flowing with ease, especially. And as soon as you do make that decision, things turn in your favor. So once you cut off this energy of this past, look, even if the person doesn't physically show up, or it happens to get recommended on the For You page or some shit, whatever it is, okay, there's a message in that. Do something to say no more, and make that decision and mean it, which means it's a no if it shows up. Once you do that, things move very, very fast, okay? And it seems like you might even be traveling and meeting that person once you make that decision. Maybe you're just like, nope, I'm moving out. I gotta go. I can't do it. No, I'm not doing it no more. Once you say no, and you stop doing should I stay or should I go, that song's even coming to my head right now, should I stay or should I go? Once you say no thank you and mean it, you start to move towards the partnership that's been waiting to come in, the one that is aligned with your purpose and your values and your spiritual rider, okay? But things are going to be moving very swiftly in your favor here once you get through this period of kind of non-judgmental reflection. And you don't even have to be like, oh no, you don't even have to be a dick about it, is the truth. You can say, you know what, I know my worth, I know what I want, I trust the universe, and I know that I'm being guided to my true purpose. And so that means I'm not going to settle for things that are not aligned with me. That's people, that's opportunities, that's behaviors. Things that are not aligned with me, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And so now that I'm making space for that, the things that are aligned with me have the space to come in. And I trust that they're coming in. period. Make that statement, make that decision, and you will see incredible progress. Okay? So I hope something resonated, Cancer. I'm sending you so much love, because the past can look very different for a lot of people. And so if it's something that you may have felt bound to, or someone you may have felt bound to, use this time to see if it's in line with who you are now. And they're saying, if you can stay dedicated to your vision, just stay dedicated to your vision, because you have been putting in so much work. It's going to catapult you into, especially towards the end of the retrograde, maybe even right after the retrograde. They're saying the retrograde is the period of reflection and integration. And then shortly after that, it'll catapult you into the power that you now hold, because you're saying no to the old version of your story. Okay? I love that so much. With the inner child cards, we have be present. So if something did resonate, Cancer, please do like, share, subscribe. Please do share the love here. If you're looking for a reading, you can certainly DM me, or you can hit me up on the link in the description. And yeah, I'm here for us. You're getting info from a Cancer to a Cancer. And yeah, I love being able to communicate with you and share my experiences with you, because a lot of the times, especially when it comes through a spiritual awakening, you really hear the heavy part of, just be positive, everything's going to be fine, just ignore it. And it's like, okay, well, how do I do that? And you make it, or it almost makes you feel like people are telling you how to do something, instead of helping you understand that I'm doing this stuff. That's how I know. I'm not just talking at you, Cancer. I do love you. I'm here with you, okay? And so please do subscribe for more readings, more helpful tips, more support and community during this Cancer awakening, okay? But I will say, out of the inner child cards, be present is going to be the best way for you to move into this situation, okay? Because the thing about a retrograde is, a lot of the times you start to reminisce on the past. And again, you might, depending on where you are energetically, might look at the past as being a better option because it's better than being alone. Or I'm sick and tired of being alone. Or I missed when we were together and now we're not. They want you to look, if you stay present and how it feels in your body and how it's making you feel, it'll bring more moments of clarity for you, okay? If you're feeling in this moment confusion, just know that more moments of confusion follow. So if you just stay present, is everything okay right now? Then I think it's probably going to still be okay. Okay? And it really is about your perspective, and it does take work, but they're saying be present. Find clarity in each moment, and you'll receive more moments of clarity. But let's see what your inner child will need during this retrograde. Ooh. Definitely a lot of cards. Oh, that's 4. This is a general reading, so let's see what they say you might need. We have let love guide you at the bottom of the deck, and that's that guidance system. That's that Queen of Cups energy that we are. Because if we're embodying the Queen of Cups energy, that means we've found the clarity that the Queen of Swords is. That means we've tapped into the confidence and the passion of the Queen of Wands. And that means, and leadership of the Queen of Wands. And that means that we've found a way to ground ourselves into ease and allowing the universe to provide, and knowing that the universe does provide of the Queen of Pentacles. And so the Queen of Cups, which is us, we embody all of those things by infusing it with love and nurturing and giving that love to everyone else, okay? But during this retrograde, Cancer, I am going to take these 4 cards because, you know, this is a general reading and because all of us could use this. They want you to review your responsibilities, and it's a 28 card that breaks down to a 10. They kind of want you to cut out those things that are not working, Okay, if you've been going to this same place and not having great results to meet people, maybe try it another way. Or if tearing up the club has been your way, but you always meet the same kind of people, try going to some other place and meeting people. But they're definitely saying during this retrograde, do it from a place of what you like to do, because starting something new is not going to be a great idea until you've had a chance to close out these cycles. Okay, and that'll give you this retrograde is the time for you to do that. It says, not all responsibilities are ours to hold. Okay, review where you've been putting your energy and decide no more. Once you say no, do what you can to mean it, and you're going to see evidence of whether or not you're still on the fence about it. Because when you say no, just like when you truly let go, the evidence shows up right away. Okay? The next information is connect to the eternity within. Use your magic. This is a 9 card. It's all about closing out those cycles, knowing, tuning into knowing, and also letting that love guide you, which this is a 24 card. It's all about harmony. Breaks down to a 6. 6s represent moving on or release or relief or finding peace or making peace, acceptance. It says, let yourself be held by love. Let love guide you. These are the things your inner child wants you to mainly focus on and tune into, okay? Because you do know the way, so let love guide you. Connect to the eternity within and remember who you are, even when the past shows up, okay? We have, you can do this. It might be hard, Cancer, but you can do this. You've been putting in the work. In fact, you're probably sick and tired of the back and forth, so you might even be at a point where you're like almost like Muhammad Ali. Let's go. Show up. I got something for that ass. Shit. Seriously, you might just be so sick of it that you're like, it's a definite no. So go ahead and show up. It says you can do hard things. It is not as impossible as it feels, okay? And truthfully, we have that as a 41 breaking down to a 5. Stop telling yourself that it's going to be hard. Stop telling yourself that it has to take long. Stop telling yourself these same stories and embrace the fact, excuse me, that also can represent needing to speak up. Embrace the fact that the wheels are turning in your favor, okay? And the final one is flow with the rhythm. That also is a 14 breaking down to a 5. Let the cycles close, Cancer, so that you can receive the freedom and the peace and the abundance and the love and the joy and all the work you've been putting in and the peaceful resolutions and the ease on the flow. Okay, they want you to flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement. Okay? Tap into dancing. Just like, it doesn't matter if anybody's watching. Just tap into dancing. You don't have to film it for TikTok or anything like that. Just tap into feeling free, okay? And you will receive more things that make you feel free. And when this person does show up, not only are they saying, as you're out there kind of just feeling free, maybe even going out dancing or doing something you don't usually do, taking a dance class, they're saying that's when you're going to meet this new person. And it's going to be after you've done this work of absolutely cutting off this last energy being removed, and now you're moving towards flowing with the rhythm of life, and now you're moving towards the person that is been waiting for you to align with them. Okay, so start putting yourself out there unapologetically, and if you don't align with my values and my purpose, I'm going to make the decision, because the Lover's card is a decision card, to say no to this. Period. Okay? So again, I do hope something resonated, Cancer. I do love that I get to do this. I'm so blessed to have you guys here watching. I do hope something does help you through this. I'm here to help in any way that I can, so feel free to, book a reading if you're interested, or if you just need a little clarity, see how I can help you, just let me know. DM or click the link in the descriptions, and yeah, I think that's about it for me. So thank you again for watching, Cancer. I do love you, okay? Take care of each other. Peace.